Hello, hello. It is Sarah Divinely You. Welcome to my channel. Welcome back to my channel. I am an astrologer, an energy healer, and with a background in leadership coaching, here to talk to you about this Virgo full moon that we're already feeling the buildup for. This is a really critical point for us. This is in the Farmer's Almanac. It's referred to as the worm moon, as Virgo is a mutable earth sign, so change and earth. um, there's a lot going on with this. This is also kind of the last buildup before the roller coaster makes its turn. Now, this could be a roller coaster that goes deep down, or it could be a roller coaster that keeps that like launches you forward, like phew, right? So because this full moon is the last full moon we will have with Pluto in Capricorn and with Saturn in Aquarius. Saturn ingresses into Pisces less than an hour after this full moon peaks on Tuesday, March 7th. It's going to peak at about 6:40 a.m. Central Time, so 4:40 on the West Coast Pacific Time, and then less than an hour later, Saturn moves into Pisces. So Tuesday probably will feel very different. um, and then as we move forward, we will have lots of other major transits, including another dose of Mars square Neptune. Mars is in Gemini. It's coming out of its retrograde and then moving forward, and it will square Neptune in Pisces. So that's going to be a big deal. Mars affects our mind, and Neptune affects illusions and kind of, it's with both planets moving forward. I feel like it's going to dissolve much more of the illusions. And I believe that occurs on the 14th of March. I pull up my calendar so I can look at transits and see, make sure I tell you the right information. Yeah, Mars square Neptune is on March 14th. And then as we move forward, we will have Pluto ingress into Aquarius on the 23rd. We will also shift into Aries season on the 20th with an Aries full moon on the 21st. So this particular full moon kind of is the last moment of you being able to step into your power. I am definitely not the person who will say you're all screwed if you don't, because there's always choices. There's always ways to shift the path, but the energy moving, everything's moving forward. These planets are all moving forward. And so this is like a perfect opportunity, right? Where you've got full on support from the universe to move forward, to change the way you, do these cycles. If you're feeling like you're stuck in an endless loop, this is the moment to break the loop, break it. And you break it by changing your behavior. You break it by not being a victim, by knowing that you have a choice, knowing that you have the power to make it go a different way. There's also being in flow, being fluid with what's happening. There's going to be a lot of chaos. There will be a lot of chaos. There's going to continue to be a lot of chaos. Don't create more. Right? There's going to be a lot of uncontrollable situations. So the best thing you can do for yourself to support yourself is to be in flow and be in charge of your emotions, be in charge of your mental state. Know and trust that you're going to have to make some snappy decisions, but really dive in, do the journaling, do the clearing. Because I always say, like, don't make decisions out of emotion, because when we do that, it always ends up backfiring typically, because we're making them from an emotional place. We make them impulsively. So you really want to be able to have your kind of wits about yourself to really make choices based on what aligns, what feels good, but also what might scare the shit out of you, right? So this full moon is a big deal. It is not something to ignore. This energy is not something to ignore. You're probably already feeling the buildup to it. I've been noticing it in the world around me for probably the last week or so. And so by Monday, March 6th, you are definitely going to feel it, as the moon will then move into Virgo and start building up to its full moon peak Tuesday morning. And so, and then Saturn in Pisces. That is a very emotional ride. It's going to be one of those, did you do the work? Did you do it all? So a little background you can kind of explore and think about what was going on for you in, I believe, December of 2017 was when Saturn moved into Capricorn. And then, of course, it moved into Aquarius in December of 2020. So if you want to think back to those times in your life and see what was coming up for you, that'll kind of help you see where you have dropping cards, kind of what you have learned, what you have grown, and all of that. The other place that you can look is 2008, because that would have been when Pluto moved into Capricorn. Again, you can look back and see what was going on in 2008. What have I learned? What have I acquired? What have I not learned? Right? And so, again, there will always be times to make change, because I think it's always possible for us to make change, but this is not a time to step into your victim role. This is definitely a time to own your responsibility. Know that you have choices, know that there is possibility for you, and all of that. It is not a full moon to ignore. It's not a moment to ignore. It is not a moment to be too busy or too overwhelmed. If you are all of those things, I highly recommend journaling, meditation, grounding, to really ensure that you are in the best place possible for things that may come up during this full moon in Virgo. So let's see what the tarot has. I would like to invite you to join me on Instagram. I go live there every day, or I dive deeper into things I talk about here on YouTube, because YouTube is definitely promoting shorts. And so long form videos are getting a little harder to promote. But that doesn't mean that you can't get information. And okay, we got the Fool in reverse. The Fool is Data. This is the Star Trek Next Gen Tarot. The Fool is Data in reverse. Oh my goodness. So I feel like you could get really stuck if you aren't curious. If you are stuck in a loop, you could really get stuck there in a not very good way with Saturn and Pisces with this full moon. We've got all sorts of catapulting energy forward, so I feel like it's one of those, like, you really want to be conscientious about what's going on. You really want to be conscientious about who you're following. You really want to be conscientious about, if you consider somebody a guru or a mastermind or a leader, you really want to make sure that you're doing that for yourself, because whatever you feel like you believe about other people, there's things about those people that you don't know. And those people could get whimsical and wishy-washy and change their beliefs on a dime. And then you're left going, wait, what? So you've really got to, like, be in your own element, in your own ground, in your own convictions, because you don't want to find yourself being victim to, well, this person always said they believed in that and now they don't. I'm confused. And I feel like that's what that is. And this just got confirmed with this King of, I believe this is Starships. Yep. King of Starships. This is Ambassador Sarek, upright. Yeah, this is really being the leader of your emotions. It's being in charge of your mental state, in charge of your emotions, in charge of your spiritual state. You really got to be able to, like, hear information from other people and take it in, but yet and that even goes from me. Like, you don't have to agree with everything I say. I don't agree with every astrologer that I listen to or every leader that I listen to, but I take the nuggets that resonate with me and go on from there. Like, I still have to have my own convictions. I still have to be able to disagree with them. I still have to be able to, stand in my own authority, right? And so I feel like with this full moon and Saturn moving into Pisces and then there's just tons of transits after that and tons of movement after that. And we definitely, like I said, we have the full on support of the universe to stand on our own, to not be victim, to be a leader, to be responsible. It's just it's not a moment in time to ignore. That is for sure. Let's see what we got for aromas to support you. We have frankincense. It's because I didn't say it out loud that I drew it. Frankincense, and on the card it says, builds transcendent awareness. Yeah, you really have the opportunity here to transcend, to transmute, to we had Venus conjunct Jupiter and Chiron last week in Aries, and it really probably brought up a lot of wounding for us. So frankincense, melissa, those types of oils, clary, sage, that bring about transformation, that allow us to transcend and mutate our wounding into alchemy, like alchemizing it, turning it into gold. Like, okay, so you had a rough childhood, so you had this go on, so you've been through this relationship or that relationship. Take it and stand on it and be like, okay, I learned from that. I learned that I am this person, and that I'm going to stand on my own ground and be who I want to be. And with the risk of criticism, with the risk of judgment, and not be so like and not be so uptight about who you're upsetting in the process. Like, I get comments on my videos all the time telling me to go read the Bible because I do tarot. Okay, that's their opinion, but it's not mine, and I just ignore it. Like, it's gonna happen, right? And then cinnamon. And cinnamon is protects and regulates. Yeah, cinnamon's great. And you don't necessarily have to have cinnamon oil. You could brew cinnamon in your coffee, brew cinnamon in your tea, whatever it is, or like, somehow acquire cinnamon. You could even just get some cinnamon sticks and, have them around and like inhale the aroma from them. Or even cinnamon sticks and grind them so you get that fresh like cinnamon fragrance. One of my favorite fragrances actually. So there's that. But anyway, so again, not a moment in time to ignore, definitely a moment in time to really, really, really get perspective, and create the life that you want, and stop dwelling on the crap that didn't work. Stop dwelling on the crap that, from your childhood, or crap from gurus, or, let everybody do what they want to do. Like, Aquarius is all about uniqueness. We're stepping into some very Aquarian times. So, anyway, that's what I have for you. Again, join me on Instagram for deeper dives into various things that I talk about in these videos. And with that, I will leave you for this full moon in Virgo. Sarah Divinely You on all platforms. I'll talk to you next time. Much love. Oh, did it not record?